Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Angelic Ray coming to you at Angelic Soul 11, and I just wanted to share with you this download that I got in regards to this full moon eclipse energy in Capricorn, July 5th, which will be tomorrow. The reading that I did for the collective, but this was more so not about the moon specifically, but about like divine separation and divine unions. And I got a few different things from it, and I thought I would share this with you all for those of you that were curious or maybe misconstruing your message and you follow my channel for whatever it may be. I guess you needed to hear this, or I needed to receive the download to share with you. And so some of the things that I got, because it was so many different messages, I'm going to share first with like the divine separations and what was Spirit talking about and what Spirit wants us to know and share in regards to the wisdom in divine separations. So divine separation is detachful. It is the act of separating from source, okay, while still being one with source. So I guess separating the idea, but not separating the existence or the spirit, okay? And so what I mean by that is there are times when we are programmed to believe certain traditions, right? We have religious traditions or holiday traditions that have been programmed into our psyches, and we become attached to these things. And then there comes a time when we get challenged by our beliefs, right? Our beliefs become challenged. And so the idea of divine separation is to separate you from the source of the attached root you have to that concept, that idea, that belief, while still knowing that Spirit is in and of everything and that God in wholeness is all one with source, right? So source is you are source. You are the spirit, you are the mind, you are the body, you are the experience, you are the observer, okay? You are the actor, you are it all. And so because of that, you do not cease to exist. However, the attachments in which you have applied to self, okay, doesn't always necessarily have to be carried on forever, right? What is forever? Forever is also another concept. It is infinite. And so therefore it is like a bindu, it is like a dot. It is just is. It's not beginning, it's not end, it just is. It's now, it's forever. And so memories carry a forever type of energy, whether it was something that you did as a child or something you did as an adolescent or an adult. That memory, when you get back a flashback, it is as if it is remembered as if it was in the present time, but yet the memory is floating around kind of forever in a sense, right? But it does not mean that you must stay attached to that memory. In fact, you can detach yourself, separate yourself from the memory, and it does not mean that that memory ceases to exist, that it is nothing anymore, but rather it is just floating where it needs to go. You let it go, and its separation, it allows for the breakdown, for breakthroughs to come through. So hopefully this is making sense to you all. We are having some retrogrades. I'm not going to sit here and just blame all the retrogrades, but I'm just going to continue on. So in these separations, we are detaching from concepts. We're detaching from persons, places, ideas, etc. And a lot of the times we can tell ourselves, oh, I deserve this, or I want this, or, you know, we come up with certain ideas or concepts or situations, and we start telling it a story. And we give the attachment, right, an excuse. We give it a story. We give our perception a storyline, right? But a fact is a fact. It does not cease to exist. Your perception of that existence and the story behind that, it's a whole other thing. It's not the full truth. It is an opinion. Right? And so because of that, when it comes down to certain relationships here, as with the reading, there we go. With the reading, the collective reading that I did previous to this video, a lot of the times we come up with these ideas that, you know, we're gonna stay married to our partners forever. And that was a specific one I actually got, so I don't know for who that may be. But if you are finding yourself in a divine separation, such as a divorce, such as just, you know, temporarily separating from somebody, or permanently separating from someone. Or another example I was getting was separating from family issues, and like separating your belief systems from other people's beliefs, right? To honor self, to honor source, to honor wholeness in that separation. And so it was like a breakdown for the breakthrough. And sometimes these divorces happen because the time had already expired, and the lesson and what I was getting, not only about the time, because I want to get back into the spirit message. Yes, there we go. The message of divine separation. The frequency and the alignment, okay? No longer being in the same vibration. This is like when, let's say you're having a bad day, or somebody's trying to put you down, or you feel like a spiritual attack or some sort. If you do not align yourself with that energy that is, but rather expand your energy, or excel your energy, or ascend your energy to a different frequency, that energy is not necessarily that it ceases to exist, but it has to move on with that which is in the same energetic sphere, in the same energetic frequency. And so if you are not on that frequency, you guys are no longer in tune with each other or in alignment. You may hear the tune and say, you know what, that I'm just not rocking to that beat anymore. I want to rock to this beat, and play a different melody. This is like the same for if you're fighting a depression or anxiety, and you find yourself chanting or meditating or breathing to shake that energy off, detach from it, and move forward onto a lighter, brighter vibration. Okay? Unions, that it goes into union, so that's why I had to start with separation. So separating from a divine partner, or from a karmic partner, or any type of separation, be it a friend, be it a career, be it a family member, be it a situation, be it a religion, whichever way it's connected with you. That separation is because the alignment is no longer there in the same frequency. This does not mean that you may not go back into that frequency later on in time and have a similar or the same experience here. Or it does not mean that you may not get in the same frequency as that family member, or that concept or religion, or the person you're divorcing yourself from again later on in life. But what it means is that during your present time. You are on a different energetic frequency than that which is no longer serving you, that which is separating from you, that which is detaching from you and parting from you. When and if the energetic frequencies match together and serve each other for the highest and greatest good. Pardon my background noise. Stella Blue. Okay, y'all. When and if the energetic frequencies are aligned again to meet again, if they so shall meet again, that is when it becomes a divine union or reunion, but it's a divine union. And the divine union is really with self first. Such as with the first one, it's with self first, detaching from illusions, separating from that which no longer serves you, that's not on your energetic frequency level anymore. It may wither away like leaves, change with seasons, right? And so the union part is about the alignment of all the frequencies and energies that is currently on your same wavelength and is serving for your highest and greatest good. That is harmonizing with your highest and greatest good. That is harmonizing with a purpose in that present state. Okay, and that purpose is always for liberation, for self-restores, for wholeness and divine wholeness. And the only truth is the divinity, okay? In that divinity, there is separation and there is union, but it does not cease to be divine. Okay, the perception of the separation and the unity are actually an opinion, because they are all cease and they all are divine. They do not cease to exist, okay? But rather we hold the attachment to that existence or not. That's a perception thing. And so with the divine unions and coming together, and this was coming into alignment with your divine partner, and whether it is an ex-partner that finally maybe took like 10 years for you guys to get in the same wavelength and frequency, and actually having to relearn each other because you've completely changed. You're no longer the same people. It's a different time, but in that present time you still recognize the wholeness of soul and wholeness and one of who you are and who I am and who we are. And so you allow yourself to say, you know what, I'm separated from that which I once knew from this being. I align myself with the unity that we share here in this present moment in space and time, and allow yourself the guidance to learn the lesson, experience the experience, and have the wisdom that is one and whole and the same with you in that union. So harmonizing your masculine and your feminine characteristics with self. Whereas in the divine separation, what I was also getting was sometimes having to separate your emotions from your logics, right, in order to make certain decisions. That is a divine separation. It does not mean that your emotions did not exist. It did not mean that you did not have a perception or an opinion or a judgment or whatever to that emotion logically. But it is a separation of that to use in a divine light for your highest and greatest good. And so that is why anything that is yours and whole and complete when oneness with you cannot be taken away from you. Okay? So in the divine union, it's actually like the strength of coming together for that purpose. It's the alignment, it's the action, it's the mind, the body, the soul. And so when you are whole and complete in your divine union, you start to align yourself with other situations, with other purposes, with other beings that are also in divine union with source and with self. And that is when you start to allow yourself the vibration of abundance and prosperity and good health and good wealth and good fortune. Okay? And so I don't know if someone here may have, if it was in reference to having a miscarriage and they had to start to separate certain old traditional ways of thinking, to let it go so that they wouldn't beat themselves up in, judgment and guilt and shaming, like self-sabotaging, but rather separate the emotions to logically be able to break down those emotions in a way where they observe the emotion, they look into the emotion, they figure out why they believe what they believe, but then they let it go and they come into unity with self again, with truth, of the experience of the light. If it is a depression, okay, coming into a divine union with self. And this is something I definitely can relate to, being a person that had suffered from depression just about my whole life. I was diagnosed at the age of like 14 with bipolar depression disorder, and then later on in life I was diagnosed with PTSD. And so I was a good friend once upon a time with depression, and not to say it doesn't try to come up, not to say I don't get triggered, right? But I've learned to separate the experiences that are triggering me into a space of depression from allowing the experience of depression to exist in my present moment. So one, I'm able to identify and I see the triggers and I recognize it, I feel it, it's a moment there. But in separating how I perceive that energetic frequency and separating myself from feeding it, I allow myself the space to overcome depression and to be in divine union with self, with light, with that which is divine and true. Because that depression is a perception of my true self. It is an opinion, and therefore it has an energetic signature. It is part of creation. But it is not the wholeness of the divine light and all that I am. And so in the union, I allow myself to say, I recognize that. I recognize that part of my creation. I recognize the lesson that it is. I am grateful. I am worthy. I am divine. I allow my wholeness to integrate that space with divine truth, with divine light, and perfect love and perfect trust. Grateful for the experience and moving forward. Being in a space of now. All your perceptions eventually, if you sit with yourself long enough, to let every thought just go by, every feeling go by, will be in a space of all and nothing. In that space, that is a divine union. Nothing is separation, and unity is wholeness. Yet the truth is that you are both. So any experience you go through, you are both the person that is leaving and the person that is experiencing being left. Or the person walking away and the person that's standing there. You are both the rejecter and the rejected. And so when you harmonize with the truth of such, it can be very frustrating. It can be very, whatever you want to perceive it, right? Because even frustration is a perception. But in that divine union, when it starts to present itself externally, that is because you have allowed yourself to be whole and complete and experience wholeness and completion around you. But when you continue to contradict your unity, your wholeness, everything around you will begin to contradict you. They will contradict your wholeness. They will challenge you. It will feel hurtful. That is tough love. The pain is tough love. The sensation of the pain is an experience. The pain is a perception. The way in which we describe the pain is the story. But the union in that is just source. It's you. You are the one having the experience. You are the one having the experience. Whether it's joyous or painful, you are the one having the experience. Sorry about that. I had a phone call come in. And so moving forward here, if you found that you are dealing with any family issues in separating or reconciling and coming into a certain union, know that whether you are on the separation side or on the union side, you are having the experience, and that this is divinely guided and divinely protected for whichever side of the coin you may feel like you are experiencing at this time. And that is the truth, and that was the message I needed to share with you. So I hope that this helps anyone. Okay, please allow yourself to sit with yourself and love yourself and honor yourself. Experience yourself as yourself and other people as reflections. And you know what? We have a lot of things going on collectively that we don't like, right? Such as things going on with racism. But what is the truth? The truth is that we are one race. But it does not cease to exist the problems that are occurring between certain gender roles. It does not mean that there is segregation in certain nationalities or ethnicities. The segregation is part of perception. The separation is part of perception. But it is all divinely guided for the divine union. And so when we look at the chaos and we look at the madness, we look at the disturbance, we look at the disgusting things that we say is disgusting, we have to allow ourselves to get into the center of truth. so that we eliminate suffering. But rather say, this is the fact. A fact is a fact. It is what it is. I see it for what it is. I identify it for what it is. But I will no longer suffer, whether I am in union or separation. Thank you. Please leave a comment down below if you feel that this has helped you, or please share the video if you feel like this will help anyone else. I love to hear your feedback. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I know I said that like at the end of the video. I just gave it to you how I got it. I look forward to doing more videos with you, for you. Sorry, I look forward to doing more videos for you and with you. Maybe that I am supposed to do some video with you, whoever you are, right? We are reflections, and I'm so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And so until next time, peace.